What is up, cutting force? Hey, this is your host, Long Mo Carlo, the sharpest tool in the shed. Um, anyhow, so I'm back in my old neighborhood. It's been a week, so I couldn't get back to finish up after it kind of rained on me. In the same situation, it's going to rain again tonight and tomorrow. So I didn't get paid $1 million to cut the grass. Now I'm asking $2 million, even though it's a free cut. I figured, hey, why not ask? I mean, hey, I'm gonna do it for free, but then I'm gonna ask for $2 million. That's a joke, by the way. So if anybody comment, you lied, you lied. I'm just joking around. Look, this, if you follow me, this is a job. I still found the video footage from last year when I did do it for free, and then got paid for it. So I never posted it. Got around, so I wasn't sure how to truthfully set it up. So I'll probably post it on the link. It's supposed to be a free cut and I paid it, but nowhere near what I and I say that because everything is there. Football and more training, edging, never been done before. Anyhow, I'm back here. It was Monday night. Mower that they're using, and I think it's a Cobalt, which are awful. Um, anyhow, but I'm gonna come back, get ready, get started here. I'm gonna finish up the trim. Let's walk around. Let me show you really quick what happened here, what I did. I wish I could post the before and afters while I'm doing this, but without being on the computer, I don't think there's any real way of doing it. So, if you're just coming in, thanks for support. Hit the subscribe and like button. That'd be great. All right, so this is what we did. I'm gonna turn the camera around. All right, you remember this? I edged all this up. And I have techniques that I've developed over the years that cuts down on the waste. I hate to show that secret, but I might one day. And instead of having to shovel all this up like you see everybody else doing it, I do something different, and there's no shoveling. Maybe minimum, but no shoveling. Well, I still got to kind of hit this to clean it up, because you can see how thick it is. I did edge all this. All this was edged. Now this is a messed up area where there's grass. There's ornamental grass in here, so I had to pick and choose what to do here with it. Then I take the leaf blower and blow it all throughout the mess, and kind of blow it away from the fence too. That'll be easier when I come back to do the trimming. No trimming inside there at all. You can see I knocked down that grass that was. It was up to that the bottom of those chairs. That's how high the grass was. It was up to the bottom of those chairs, so it was almost to the top of that table. You can see all the thatch that was left behind. I went over this 2 times. I think I went over this 3 times on high. I never dropped the deck at all. And you can see the grass grew back almost 6 inches. Look at that. See that? The grass grew back. That's how fast the grass grows around here. That's the problem that a lot of homeowners they come across when hiring somebody. They want to do the whole 2-week thing, and the 2-week thing doesn't work, and because every time you come out, it's like a makeover every time. That puts a lot of stress and wear and tear on your equipment and your time. So next year I'm changing things up. It's all going to be 1 week, or if I have to possibly do a week and a half, but I hate that. So I edged off. I'm gonna go ahead and edge this up again. So what I'll do is I'm gonna start by edging this really quick just to knock it out again. Even though I've already edged it. You can see here, I already edged it. See this? See that? You blow this out with the leaf blower, but I couldn't blow it a whole bunch because it was starting to rain. So what I'll do is I'm just gonna run over this again with the edger just really fast, just to kind of course I'm not. I got OCD, so I'm probably gonna go slow as shit. So I'm gonna edge it, and then I'm gonna trim the whole yard out. And then I can cut, then I'm gonna cut down all the trim out. And I'm only gonna drop it down to about maybe 4.5, because I don't have all day to be here to cut this down to the limit where the area where it should be at like 3 or something like that. But they honestly, they like these yards for 2.75. You know, they want it to where they can almost quite see the dirt through the grass. That's how a lot of people like when they say cut your grass. That's what they're looking for. You can't do that from here. I honestly think I won't be able to cut it again, because once I cut it, I think it's just going to kill the grass, because it's going to go into a state of shock. But then again, this is Maryland grass. It's stupid, so it comes back. Yeah, we got stupid grass in Maryland. Anyhow, so let's get started here really quick. Let's get the equipment out. So, but hey, I'm more than welcome to take any $1 million gifts anybody wants to give me. So don't feel shy, you know. Just hit me up. And, I kind of feel self-conscious with the video. Like I feel like people are looking at me like I'm stupid or something. Like, why are you doing that? Oh, how old are you? 12 years old? Have an emergency with my mower. The belt was starting to wobble on me on the big mower, and I had to replace the belt. I don't always, but this time I had an extra belt sitting around because I ordered the factory one on Amazon. It was really expensive. Oh, that's got to be fixed. That's going to break soon. Then I said, on Amazon, I said, let me order the off-brand one to see what the difference is. Honestly, the off-brand one looks like it's made better. I didn't put it on, so I put the factory one on. So I got the off-brand one on there. It's like a brown color. You see those belts are like brownish looking. Some of them are black. I don't get it. They're supposed to be made out of like Kevlar or something stupid like that. Like they're freaking bulletproof. I don't get it. Anyhow, I do know these belts take a lot of stress. But when they wear down, they don't look anything special. They all look like shit when they're worn down. So let me get this stuff out of here really quick. I'm going to leave that in there. I got to put the cones on first. I got to put you guys on. So I always put my cones out first. The first thing you do. Alright, you went from like 50 people watching it down to 2. I guess they figured I wasn't getting paid $1 million. Hey, it's up to you guys to pay me. When do you guys want to pay me $1 million? I was just saying if anybody said anything that they give me some money. I wouldn't be that lucky. Anywho. There. The edger that I use. I'm not really a fan of the Red Max stuff. I think it's actually made cheaper than the Husqvarna stuff. That's some cheap plastic right there. As if for the Husqvarna actually puts like a different kind of plastic on those parts. It's almost like a rubbery mixed plastic, and it's a lot stronger. It's just a better design. As a matter of fact, the new Red Max actually is identical to this now. So we're near an airport, so I gotta make a video on the lines, because they're putting some crap in the sky. Not every day they do it. So how can a plane do it some days and not other days? And then you can see two planes near each other, one not doing it and one doing it. Now come on, that's some kind of chemical coming out. Because a vapor trail comes off the wings, not the engine. So that's why I think it's some kind of conspiracy there. I've heard a lot about it, and then, well, that's another story. So let me just show you really quick what goes on. 2 minutes here on this, and then I'm not going to show a whole lot, but just some of the trimming, and that's pretty much it for this video. Then what I'll do is take pictures, and then you can come back and see the video that I'll make from that. But here you go. I need my ear protection. This thing has got to warm up. That's what I like about it. I mean, it's like more than normal. I love this one right here. It's got the combi changeout. The regular stick one vibrates like shit. I mean, even Husqvarna's stupid. They said it's supposed to do that. This doesn't go like this. This one doesn't vibrate. Talking about it, it takes a lot to warm this Red Max tank. I don't know why. That's just the way it is. All right, we're calling for camera 2. That's my crew. They're on it right now. Now, let me see here. Anybody get $1 million yet? $1 million. We're waiting for $1 million. So, no. Anyway, so that's cutting it like 4 times, I think, now with the edging. I wish I could. I did video and made a small video, which I'll put out as a short for this little section up here. But man, when I hit into here, my battery died out. Didn't have any more room. I could have filmed a little bit, but my battery died. This was just this was a fiasco. I wish I could have videoed. That's why I hate this. I can never get the good shots. There was a lot going on here. So I'm going to bring out the 525 LX. Do not buy the LST. Everybody advertises it's got freaking word salad. split reassures it. Because I think what's happening is they're vibrating inside the shaft. They don't know how to make a right proper shaft. So even the Red Max does the same thing. I got this one over here. Dealer, they were. I was the first person to ever complain about it. So I get the Red Max. The Red Max supply. Look, see. I don't use it. It's shit. I have an LST Husqvarna. I don't use it. I paid $500. It's got a lot of power, but it I got a second one right here, or yeah, 322L. I bought this one used. I have my good one at home, but that one needs carbs. They all need carbs after a while. I get tired and I just buy another one. So I'm one of them guys. I know how to fix it, but I just don't feel like it. And anyhow, so what I'm gonna do is get out the LST. I'm sorry, the 525 LX. It doesn't really matter what grade you use or whatever. It's just, I'm getting out the weed. I ain't giving them no support. I'm getting out the weed whacker. This is a weed whacker made by whoever you want it to be by. I already trimmed this, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it again, just to kind of clean it up a little bit. But actually, I want to go and yeah. Let me show you what I do here first. never seen that before. See, this one, this is the X, the T35X. It actually has a bearing in there and it allows this part to spin. Helps it wear down. Also, it gets in the way sometimes, but I wish they'd make it lower and then maybe put a metal cap on it. But it's kind of nice when you're trying to trim and it rolls with it, but otherwise it gets in the way. But that's just that one. But see, I like these better than the quick change ones. Anyhow, I use Hyper Twist. If you use my code CutForce10 and on their website on store USA, and you get 10% off. It looks identical to the Red Max stuff, except it's orange. A lot cheaper. I think this was like $35. Any brand name, this right here is about $60 to $70, and they roll this thing overdone. But it also is nice. This is it. They also give you one of these every time, which is nice. Let me show you how to do this really quick without any special tools. Ballard would hate me to show everybody this, but here we go. Put it on your foot. You see that? See that? You roll it out. Do about 5. That's the thing tight. There we go. Don't do drugs. You out there saying, whoa. Alright, so what I do is I usually find something to put it on. Just show the footage of this. I'll do it over here. Even it up. This is still faster than using a speed feed. And you can pre-make these. Ready? Watch. There you go. It doesn't hurt your wrist. Now this is the part that slows you down, is when you lose the top. There you go. I just like doing that better than the speed feed. I did all up here. See all that there. I'm gonna get in there now. Well, that's it for the filming because I got to get this done and I don't have a whole lot of time. So I just wanted to kind of just follow up with the last one. And what I might do is if I have some footage room, I might get some footage of me actually cutting it again because I got to cut this like 3 more times. I'm going to cut it on high again, the whole thing over. And then I said I'm going to break it down a little bit and try to cut it down around 4.5, maybe 5. I can't cut it the time that I have. So they'll have to pay for a second cut, which is what I was getting at, which I should have been already doing it by now, so I screwed myself out of money. But I didn't have no time to do it. I was either get it done before it rained, it would be much higher, and the rain never really came that we were supposed to get. So it would have been higher, but not by much. As you can see, this is what grew. Look at that. Look at that. That's how much it grew. What's that, like a foot? Anyway, so there you go. All right. Don't forget to send that gift of $1 million and I'll send you a free t-shirt.